I have a little kitty supervising today, otherwise known as demanding attention, or sleeping. How can you resist, right? How can you resist that face? That face. Hello everybody, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. All right, Nina, I gotta get to work. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to my channel. Nina says, excuse me. You need to keep petting me. For those that are new, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoy what you see. For those that are returning, thank you for coming back. Nina doesn't usually make an appearance like this. And of course, once you start petting this cat, she's like, she could go all day and have you pet her. All right, Nina, settle back down. So how are you guys doing? I am back from a wonderful trip to the mainland. We had a great time. The weather was gorgeous, both in Phoenix and of course in Flagstaff. Beautiful in the 50s, 60s during the day. It got down into the 20s at night in Flagstaff. Got to use my electric blanket. There's something about sleeping when it's cold and you're kind of all cuddled up in warmth and it's, oh, love it. Beautiful up there. Had a great visit with my in-laws, as always. Got to go out in the RV, which is home. So basically, it was great. Did make it to the attic. We went, so anytime we're flying back and forth like this, you know, the flights leave fairly early in the morning. So we usually stay at a hotel near the airport in Phoenix the night before. And the hotel is only about 15 minutes from the attic. So I was able to run over there after we ate some lunch, and it turns out that there was a retreat going on that weekend. Barb and Alma from Blackbird Designs were in to teach classes. I learned about this from my friend Suzanne. She's one of the gals that I shared the table with at StitchCon this past June. And she let me know she was at this retreat. So I got to meet up with her and chat with her a bit. I also got to meet in person Laura Duet. She is Modern Mozart on Instagram. She also just recently started a Flosstube called, with her friend Brenda, and it's called Brenda and the Cereal Starter. And so Laura is the Cereal Starter, and I love that name. I haven't had a chance to watch the videos yet, but they are high on my list of things to do once I get some time to do it. But anyways, Laura was supposed to be my roommate at StitchCon this past year. She had to cancel. So we've been talking on and off for a while, and it was absolutely fantastic to meet you in person, Laura. Again, wonderful time. I did do some videos at the attic, and that's what you see at the beginning here of this video. That's probably, I don't even know whether I'd say that's a third of the store. That's probably a quarter of the store. It was fairly busy because of this retreat happening this weekend, and I didn't feel comfortable doing one of my full-fledged videos. So I did video some of the samples, but like I said, and it wasn't even over on the like main sampler wall. That's where a lot of the people were kind of gathered. So yeah, I'll get back there though. Like I said, it is very convenient to the airport. And you know, we're passing in and out of there frequently, being a relative term. I'm sorry I didn't get any videos done in Flagstaff. I had every intention. I took all my stands and stuff to do that. I really thought that we'd have a couple of days of just relaxing, chilling at the RV, not really doing much of anything, and that I'd have plenty of time to do videos. Well, that didn't happen. The first day we did a lot of running around, errands, shopping in Flagstaff. And then the second day we actually went down to Sedona, drove down through the beautiful Oak Creek Canyon. It's a gorgeous drive from Flagstaff to Sedona. The leaves had already turned and mostly fallen in Flagstaff, but in Sedona, they were still gorgeous yellows and golds and reds. And that is also some of the photos that I have at the beginning. But yeah, we met a friend and her husband in Sedona. They were actually visiting other friends in Phoenix, so they all drove up to meet us in Sedona, and we had a nice lunch and chat and catch up, and it was great seeing you guys too, Susan and Bob. So yeah, it wasn't really a relaxing time, but it was a wonderful time, and we were very, very sad to be putting our RV back in storage and heading back here to the island. But we are back to life as normal now, so back to my normal schedule. I know a lot of you have watched the video I put out yesterday, the first of my Basics of Cross Stitch series. I have a lot of ideas for that, so hopefully once a week for the kind of distant future. I probably have half a year's worth of, if I do them weekly, of videos, so lots of ideas and always more coming in, and I'm happy to try and show you anything that you want, if it's something that I know well enough that I'm comfortable with. Several of you have asked me to do videos on full coverage and diagonal stitching, and I am very new to this whole full coverage world. So whenever you ask, I do point you to Karen Bug's videos, a needle bug on Flosstube, because she is a pro at it, and she has numerous videos on it. So that being said, I think I'm ready to get into cross stitch. So I have progress, I have haul, I have ideas, and of course, the announcement of the winners for the giveaways, multiple ones. And I actually got 2 additional things that I also included in this, and I'll be showing you that in a little bit. Yeah, and then a little shop update. I do have a couple new patterns up on the store that I got up yesterday, so I'll show you those as well. All right, so let me see. I had mentioned that I was taking Shades of Gold and Santa Fe Decor with me. I had hoped to get a lot done on Shades of Gold, and I feel like I did. I switched back and forth between Shades of Gold and Santa Fe Decor. So here's where I am on Shades of Gold at this point. I got this part completed and got a good start on the center medallion. So, love it, love it, love it. I plan to continue swapping back and forth between this and other things that I'm working on, although I must admit over the weekend I didn't pick this up again. So hopefully I'll get into a better swing as I get more settled back into the routine of being at home. Santa Fe Decor, I did finish another diagonal last night. My second diagonal, this is going to be a long one. Still lots of confetti, but you're starting to see, whoops, hold it the right way, Jan. You're starting to see, like, this black line here is where the lid of the box meets the side of the box, you know, where it comes down. So still lots of confetti, but whew, so pretty. Loving how this is looking. Santa Fe Decor, that is one of my patterns. The other thing I took with me was everything I needed to start the By the Bay Needle Arts Stitch Along called Time for Seasons, which did start on Friday. So I got a bit of a start on it Friday evening in the hotel, and then this was my plane project, so I got a bunch done on the plane, and I've been working on it every day. Sunday I worked on this all day, all the time I was stitching, and then yesterday I worked on it a little bit more. No, maybe I didn't pick it up yesterday. I don't know. So this is part one. And what I did with Harbor Haven is I pretty much worked on each part as it came out exclusively, and it took me about 10 days to do each part. So I'm hoping that it'll be the same with this. Now, I'm not working on this exclusively, but I am trying to get a chunk done every day. So this is the corner piece. I did outline it, and I'll take my time and fill that in whenever I need to have stitching that I don't have to think about. So you can see, like, I started up here and then I started piecing down so I could get the house in because the house is so pretty. And a lot of this is why it's kind of like sporadic, is I wanted to see how the colors that I've chosen are playing out. And I'm not totally sure. So this brighter blue is like the dark blue for the water. And that is the Elegant Peacock. Is that what the name is? Peacock Elegance from XG Designs. So it is a kind of a more vibrant blue. And then the other watercolor was the Coastal Seaweed from Victorian Motto. And so it's much more green, much calmer. They do have some of the same, like the green tones are somewhat similar, but I'm not sure about the bright blue. So I'm going to leave it for now, but I want to fill in more of the Coastal Seaweed watercolor and see if it looks better, see if the Peacock Elegance looks better once I get more of the other watercolor filled in. Now, the other thing you'll notice is there's a little blank space here on this light green. A sheep goes there. Now, there is supposed to be another blank space in this darker green right next to that. I was working on this morning to fill in the rest of this, the dark green, and I forgot, and I filled in that little space. But what I'm thinking is I may go ahead and fill in the space in the light green too, and then work the white for the sheep over top of that. So it'll actually make the sheep kind of, I don't want to use a fuzzy thread, I don't want to get into that, but it'll give some extra texture and yeah, texture and stuff to the sheep, you know, make them kind of rise up off of the background a little bit. I'm doing that mostly because I don't want to take out the green. I'll admit it. So we'll see how that works. I will probably do that tonight and see. So anyways, this blue is Kansas Sky from Victorian Motto. That gets filled in all around the clouds and all through here. So it's a kind of a full coverage once you get into all of this. But I am thrilled with how this is looking so far. It is, it's good to be stitching on a By the Bay chart again. You know how much I loved Harbor Haven. And, you know, Donna has such a very unique and you know when it's a By the Bay chart, right? And so it's just, it's like coming home, stitching this design. It's like, oh, I love By the Bay. I love her designs. So anyways, part one is well started. The other thing, I think that's all the stitching that I had to show you. Knitting, I did work quite a bit on my shawl. On our drive, it's about a 2-hour drive up to Flagstaff from where Mike's parents live in Phoenix. And so this is what I worked on the rides, as well as like an hour every day otherwise. I don't find it easy to stitch in a moving vehicle just because most of the roads are just not smooth enough. There's some, but most of them are not smooth enough. So, and it's much easier to knit. So knitting up and back, and then a little bit every day at Flagstaff and in Phoenix. So I am heading towards the end of the next to last clue. The last clue is all the border. I have about, I think I had a decrease row. I'm at 477 stitches on my needle, I think. I have a massive increase row coming up. I think when I looked ahead, when I get to the last clue, which like I said is the border, I will have 600 and some stitches on this needle. So it's going to be a massive border, and it is going to be a massive shawl, but I am loving this. I love my color choices. The design is fun. It's interesting. The rows are freaking long. I won't deny that, but can kind of get into a zone at a certain point and just, it's not hard knitting, so it's kind of moves along as long as you don't think about how long the rows are. So I did finish, like I said, I did finish another diagonal on the Fe Decor, so I'm going to go back this week to my Fractal Bookmark. And yes, I pulled it out because it's so pretty and I love to show it off. So you can see I have part of a diagonal started, so I will be working on that diagonal this coming week, as well as By the Bay and Shades of Gold. So that's the stitching plans and the knitting plans. Still about an hour a day of knitting every day, hopefully. Okay, so that is all the progress. Nina is bored. You stop petting me, Mommy. I'm gonna ignore you now. All right, I got a lot of stuff. Helicopter passing. That's a big one. I think it's one of the Chinooks. I think they've been up a lot the past few days. It's been rainy here. We had go off, one of the National Weather Service alarms go off in the middle of the night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, a flash flood watch. It was storming, thunder and lightning like crazy. In fact, I just find this hilarious. One of the local TV stations had a live stream on their website last night of the lightning. They don't get storms like that. At least in my year here, I haven't experienced a whole lot of thunderstorms, and the light show last night was pretty magnificent. So yeah, the one TV station live streamed it on their website. Okay, let's see where to start. Goodies. I think it's all here. Doesn't look like as much as I thought. All right. Joann's. I did make it to the Joann's in, the closest one to Mike's parents is in Peoria, across Bell Road from Arrowhead Mall. So we jaunted down there one day. I got a couple of, let me pull these out. I got a couple of finishing items. I took 3 projects along that I've had finished for a while to see if I could find something to mount them on. And I did find something for 2 of them. I did not find something for this, the 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs. I may get this framed. Oh, and now the wind is picking up. Hold on. I may get this framed because it's so pretty, and I don't want to, I want to do it justice. So I may just hang on to this for a while and take it to the framer over on the other side of the island. See if we can find a pretty frame for it. I did take these as well, though. If you remember Autumn Time by New York Dreamers and Winter Wonderland by Kanikis Whims and Prims, and this is done on her printed linen fabric as well. So this I found like a tray for, and then this, well, they were both kind of tray-like, but I don't have them with me. I left them back at Mike's parents and asked his Mom if she would mind mailing them to me, because it wouldn't have worked in our luggage. So hopefully those will get here in the not too distant future, and I can get these finished. Now I do have a point of comment about this. I had sent this pattern on to Linda Holberg. She has finished it. I am sure there is somebody else that I promised this to after Linda was done with it for Linda to send on to. I cannot remember who you are. So and I didn't note it down anywhere that I can find. So if I promise this pattern to you, please let me know so I can let Linda know, and she will forward it to you. Okay. So that was Joann's. We also went to the Joann's. I meant to get some fabric to finish my Heal Through the Journey pillow with, and this is free on my, on my store, madforyarn.com. If you go there, there is a freebie category, and this is in there if you are interested in this. A lot of you I know already got it. But I was looking for some fabric. I want to make this into a pillow. And I forgot to do that at this store in Phoenix. And so we went to the one up in Flagstaff. One of the running around things we did when we were in Flagstaff. And I got several possibilities. So these are just their little fat quarter pieces. So we have that. Or that. Or that. I prefer this one. This is the one that I think really stands out. I don't know. I want to trim it. I don't know what I want to trim it with. I was looking for the chenille trim when we were at the attic, and I didn't see any. I spent 2 hours there, and I still feel like I could have spent another 4 and still not have gone through everything. But anyways, this is the one I'm leaning towards. I like the contrast. I'd like to find a warm chenille like this. I want this to have a cozy feeling when I'm finished with it, and I think this helps that feeling. So I also got this bundle of fat quarters. I don't know why. Well, I know why. Because the colors are so pretty. Look how pretty these are. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Actually, I have an idea that's rolling around in my head of something I want to start working on. But I'm not quite there yet. So, pretty pretties. There was another bundle of pretty pretties that had like seahorses and crabs and watercolors that I almost got, and now I wish I had because it keeps weighing on my mind. Oh well. All right. Before I go to what I got at the attic, though, let me pull out. See, that goes with that. I'm not going to show you that yet. I also had ordered some things, and that came while I was gone. And yes, I'm looking for one of them. Oh, there it is. Ah, almost fell. Okay, so one of the things I ordered was the bead pack for Serenity by Northern Expressions Needleworks. By the Bay Needle Art, Northern Expressions Needlework, I think. I don't remember. If you remember, Serenity is the design that Nicole, Northern Expressions Needleworks, created after she saw my Shades of Gold worked in Darling. She bought several of Raquel's Raquel's silks, and decided to create a design using Darling. And so it is a design with beads and specialty stitches. So I got the pattern. I now have the beads. I don't know what fabric yet. I don't know what I'm going to start it. I came this close to buying. There was some like midnight blue fabrics by Stephanie at the attic, but it was 40 count, and I don't think I can use 40 count. like for the specialty stitches, and so that the beads, you know, I think when you use beads, you want to pretty much stick with the fabric that it was designed in, because that way you know that the beads will fit correctly as designed. The other thing that came in the mail is this. Now, you may recall, this may look familiar, I had bought this pattern off of the Naldendraad Etsy store. They're the ones that have the Jan Haltman patterns that I got patchwork from. They also have this one. And so I got this a couple weeks ago, and when I showed it on my video, Cheryl and I forget the other woman's name, mentioned this book, and that this was in this book as well, and that there were a bunch of other gorgeous samplers in here. So, and they linked me to it on Amazon, and it was Prime, and it was only $14.99 for this book. Now, I don't know whether this is out of print. There was only one left by the seller that had it on Amazon. I'm not going to go through it all now. I will probably do a flip through, but first I'm going to see if it's even still available anyplace before I do that, so that I'm not leading you down the garden path and then saying, sorry, you can't get it. But anyways, that came while I was gone. And then we have the attic. No, I didn't go overboard. One of the things I had planned to get was, I've decided to use 25 count fabric, 1/1 for Farewell to Anger. I think I mentioned this in my last video. Mike and I kind of discussed what size we want the finished project to be, and 25 count is the one that gives us the closest to that size, or, you know, something in the range of, you know, the thing he doesn't like about Harbor Haven is that it's so small. He thinks if I'm putting all this work on it, you should be able to see it. He's like, you have to get up close to see any of the details. And I explained that the smaller proportions make it look more realistic, make it look more like a painting. But he, whenever, and especially something like Farewell to Anger with all that color, he's like, I want to be able to see it. So 25 count, 1/1. Oh, and here's a side note. The attic, so many of their samples are small counts, like 56. And I'm not talking about the samplers. I'm talking about other things. Now I have a feeling that it's so more will fit on their walls, so that each design doesn't take up too much real estate. But holy cow, it just reinforced my love of small counts. Large counts, small count, you know what I mean. 40 count and above, 36 count and above. Love it. Love the look. But anyways, the attic did not have in stock any 25 count Lugana. So, I'll be getting that from 123 Stitch. I have it in my cart. I'm waiting for the winter salt boxes to hit the store, and then I'll add that to my cart and check out. There's a bunch of other things in my cart as well. We'll talk about that on another video. But anyways, I did pick up some pretties. So I saw this one of the other times I went to the attic last year. And I didn't get it then because I had a bunch of other stuff in my pile. So I made sure I got it this time because I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. They have a sample in the store, of course, a model. So I am glad to finally have this. I will be doing this on a smaller count, 40 count probably. I love this. Of course, it has Quaker motifs, right? Quaker motifs, alphabet, house, houses. Love it. I also have loved this. It is Hands On Designs new Christmas one, and I don't know what it is about this one, but I just love everything about it. So this came home with me. Don't know when I'm going to do it, but we'll see. And then this one, they also had a sample of this in the store, and I fell in love with it. Again, small count. She calls for 40 count, so that might be what it was done on. It might be a little bit smaller of a fabric, but I love this. So Centerpoint sampler by the Scarlet House. So that came home with me. I also picked up, and this was the other option for, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. This was another option for the Heal Through the Journey. This Velveteen by Lady Dot. And I think that would also give it a nice warm feel. Of course, the Velveteen, and then if I could find some chenille to edge it with, I think that'd be really pretty. It'd be nice to find a chenille in the pink or the burgundy. So we'll see. That's a possibility as well. And then I also got these little wool pieces. Again, I have something going through my brain that involves collage and different types of fabric and embroidery. And this, you know, I would not be at all surprised if they went to like a thrift store and got stuff and cut them apart, like got garments, because this is a sweater. See that? That they felted. And it struck me, I swatch for everything before I knit it, right? You always swatch. I have a whole box of swatches. I could felt them and do something, like I said, that my brain is playing with. So stay tuned. Always stay tuned, right? All right, so that is, oh, one more piece of haul. How could I forget? This just came yesterday. Wood and Cat on Etsy. All strung together, wood and cat. What is this? Pray tell. This is magnetized. It is a kind of a handheld grime guard. So, for stitching in hand, you know, I'm rolling up the fabric and I'm holding it in my hand, right, to work whatever section that I'm working on. This goes around what I've rolled up. It's magnetized, so if I want to use it as a needle minder and lay my needle on there, I can. But I'm holding this instead of holding the fabric. This is from Russia. It took about 2.5 to 3 weeks to get here, so not bad. You know, it's one of those things that you kind of order and forget about. So, I just started, like I said, it just came yesterday. I used it around my Q-snap, my Fe Decor, and for this, I actually kind of, I did have one of the peels on this, but for this, I rolled up the fabric, and I actually brought up this little piece too and had this up here, and then this captured the fabric. Sits around the Q-snap, hold it here, and also acts as a needle minder because it is magnetic. So, I mostly got it for my stitching and hand pieces, but this certainly worked as well too. So, and of course this, you know, I was holding this in hand, but I have a tendency, since I am stitching up here, to kind of do this, so I'm holding this at the top, but that's okay. I could put it up there too. There's just no fabric that I need to capture up there. So anyways, I will be putting the link to this down below, Wooden Cat on Etsy, and she also included a cute little needle minder. So I think that is all the haul. All right, on to the winners. What you've been waiting for, right? Now, as I mentioned, I do have 2 additional things to add to the giveaway. These also came while I was gone. The latest from Fat Quarter Shop, Bringing Home the Tree. So 2 people, I did an additional drawing, and 2 other winners. And I'm looking because I just found this needle laying on my notebook here. Not sure where this came from. Yeah, it came from that. I have to tell you, there have been times over the past couple weeks where I have found random needles on the floor in different places. And I don't, usually when I drop a needle, I'm very aware of it and I search until I find it. This has just been random and I haven't been aware that I've lost a needle. In fact, I had a dream. Like last week, I guess it was, where I was finding these needles on the floor all over the place. So it's obviously something that's weighing on my mind and I don't know where they're coming from. Maybe the cats are doing it at night just to drive me insane. I do worry about needles on the floor, of course, because I don't want them getting, well, in our feet, or, because we always go barefoot, or in the little kitty feet. She has a tough life. All right, winners. So let's get started. Guys, more haul. I knew something had come right before we left, but I couldn't put my hands on it because I had left it buried in a box next to my desk so the cats wouldn't get into it. And I was just checking to, because I had actually forgot a couple of the giveaways, so I had to continue on doing that. Or I had to pick the rest of the winners. And found this box. I had placed an order with Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette, right? Her website, Shakespeare's Peddler. Actually, I guess the website is Kitten Stitcher. So here's what I got. Crinkle, crinkle. I think Teresa was having a free shipping sale, so I took advantage of that. So Extra Designs, 36 count Midnight Ride. I think this was Extra Designs. Let me see if it says on the, yes, Midnight Ride. How scrumptious is that? Fat quarter, 36 count. Isn't that wonderful? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I had to have it. And then the other thing I had to have, so Teresa is now carrying most, if not all, of the Scarlet letter samplers, and you guys know that I'm not into traditional samplers that much. But then there's this. So this is called a flame stitch sampler. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I am a sucker for color. I am a sucker for unusual stitches, designs. So I think that's the last of my haul. You know, I go for a long time without buying anything and then just kind of go a little crazy. All right, that's going down there. Now we're going to do the giveaway. And I think I have everything. All right, so Farm Girl. I have 2 of the Farm Girl books to give away, right? The first one goes to Virginia Baldwin. By the way, we had 183 people comment for different things. Virginia Baldwin, B-O-U-D-W-I-N. You win one of the Farm Girl Vintage 2 books. The other one of those books goes to Diana Rose. Log Cabin Set, 2 of those. The first one goes to Hilma Sinkinson. The second one goes to Yannicka Mott. The Scroll Rod covers in Grime Guard. That goes to Linda Rados, or Rados, R-A-D-O-S. The camper set, the cross-stitch design from Lori Holt, that goes to Christy M. Quilty Love, the cross-stitch design goes to GG Stitches, GIGI Stitches. And then these two, the new ones that I just got. Bringing Home the Tree, the first one goes to Shelly Mitchell, M-I-C-H-E-L. And the second one goes to Casey G. Now, I will comment on all of your comments letting you know you won these. I need you to email me at jan@madforyarn.com with your mailing address, and I will get these out in the mail to you. Yay! Congratulations to all. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you like what I'm doing here. All right, shop update. Got a couple new designs in the store. And these are the photos that I worked from. So these are Lenten Roses. They grew in my flower beds, one of my front flower beds at my former home in Maryland, just north of Annapolis. I had a gorgeous flower bed there. Lots of spring bulbs. Spring is my favorite season. Loved my front yard at our home in Maryland. So Lenten Roses is one of them. And then this is called Sedona Seashells. These were just different colored shells in a basket at a store in Sedona. Took a picture and kind of amped up the colors and softened the edges and played with it. And so this is now a design in my store. Last but not least, and I am going to see if I can get to the page. I have had, let's see, I have had these kits for a while and kind of forgot about them until I saw that they were going to be for sale again. And so I thought, you know, I need to get these out. Now I am selling these. I'm not giving these away. These were things that I got in the box that I purchased from my friend CJ when she was stopping cross stitch. The interesting thing is, these are the original kits. It says limited edition kits. The interesting thing is that these are slightly different from what they are offering now. They are on 123 Stitch. They're selling them for $12.59 with a normal retail, I guess, of $14. But these are slightly different. What they're showing, and I'm looking because I'm looking at the 123 Stitch page. They're showing them stitched on 28 count Cashel, I think. What you get in here is actually an Aida, a sand Aida, I believe, 14 count. Excuse me. They've kind of reworked the embellishments that the characters are decorated with. For instance, on Santa, see this little banner that says Noel? What comes in the new kit is just a piece of ribbon that's hanging from the basket. The same with Mrs. Claus. She has a little banner here that says Joy. You just get a piece of ribbon. In these kits also, you get a full skein of the Whisper and the backing fabric. You do not get those in the kits that come on 123 Stitch. There's also a bit of a change to some of the embellishments, but for the most part, it's still, the rest of it's still the same. The little baskets and the greenery and little charms. And Mrs. Claus and her glasses and the basket and the little charms. So all of that is included. And then, like I said, backing fabric and the Whisper in each of them. So I am going to sell these. If you are interested, I'm going to price them at $20. You can see the original retail was $32. If you're interested, again, email me at jan@madforyarn.com. I do take PayPal. So I'll let you know all that information, and you know, we can work that out. So I think that is all for me today, except I am going to end with the card. Remember, I got these cards. And today's says, these are Teresa Kogut, and I assume she designed all of them. Yeah, her copyright's on all of them. Spread love everywhere you go. A saying by Mother Teresa, apparently. Live with courage and share your light with others. Again, I would love all of these to be cross-stitch patterns. How pretty is that? Share love everywhere you go. So that's my message for you today. Share love everywhere you go. I love you guys. I am so glad you are here with me on this journey. Been here a year almost on the island. That is rather hard to believe. Let's see where the next year goes. In the meantime, like I said, you guys that have won, get in touch with me on jan@madforyarn.com. Let me know your address, your mailing address, and I will get all these things in the mail. I will see you again. Let's see, I was going to say Friday. I do have one, maybe 2 appointments on Friday. I might cancel the one. So either Thursday or Friday, I will be back with a Stitch with Me. Until then, guys, you have a fantastic week. Share the love wherever you go, and know that I love you. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.